In a recent video, I showed this haul I got from Legends of Car Audio. Brad over there sent me some really cool items here, including some brand new in-box items, amplifiers, speakers, all kind of goodies. So there's one in particular I want to take a closer look at today, and here it is, the JBL Power 150.1. Actually, the model number is BP 150.1. This is Monoblock amplifier from around 1999, power valve, universal interface. We're going to show off all the different features and specs and everything here shortly coming up in the video. Now it's stated to include the following: one black amplifier with one 20 amp blade fuse installed, a manual, a warranty registration card, and a silica gel packet. Yes, that's really on the features of this amp. This is what it includes. Oh yeah.
This is not a Mickey Mouse program!
Alright, now step back or I will attack, and you don't want that. So let's get into the box here and see what we have. Of course, here is the manual, and there's the amplifier. Let's take a closer look once we get everything pulled out so we can look all up close and personal. $249.95, what? Well, according to the Crutchfield site, it's no longer available. This amplifier was available back in 1999. We're going to look at the Car Audio and Electronics directory to find out what the list price was back then. Here at the top of the listing of the JBL amplifiers, you'll see the 4 monoblock BP models, including the 150.1. Shows up as $220 in 1999. That's $415 in 2024. I wonder why the person was trying to sell this for $249. Maybe that's why it was still new in box after all these years. Now here is the owner's manual. Let's take out this from the plastic baggie. And we also have, of course, the warranty registration card, because back in the day, you didn't automatically give away your stuff by putting your information on the internet. They wanted you to fill it all out on a card and send it back in so they knew all your demographics and stuff. Here in the manual, it goes over the different models of the BP and P series. There were 4 different monoblocks. There was 1 4-channel and 2 2-channels available. Again, today we have the BP 150.1, which is the smallest of the monoblocks. Here it is inside the plastic. Let's pull it out and take a look at this brand new 25-year-old amplifier. It's kind of a unique look for JBL back in the day, and these were very popular. I did test the 1200.1 before. I'll leave a link in the description to check that. For dimensions, 8.7 by 8 inches by 2.7. It's kind of weird that the width is 8 inches, but including the terminals and everything, that was correct. I did actually get out the tape measure to measure it. 4 ohms is rated 75 watts, 2 ohms 150 watts. In the manual, it does say it's rated to handle 1 ohm loads, but it doesn't do any more power than at 2 ohms. That's why we have the asterisk there. Now, I can't say I've ever seen a 4-channel amp with front and rear inputs, but this one actually has high-level as well as low-level inputs, 4 of them. I believe they did that as a factory integration feature of this amplifier. Also, we have the input level control, variable low pass frequency from 320 down to 32 Hertz, and a variable bass boost from 0 to 6 dB at 50 Hertz. On the opposite side of the amp, we have the speaker outputs, the fuse, and the power inputs. Speaker outputs, although this is a monoblock amp, it does have 2 outputs and 8 gauge for those as well. We have the 20 amp fuse, and then we also have 4 gauge for the power inputs. However, these are not oversized 4 gauge, so I had to kind of squeeze 4 gauge wire in to make it work. And then, of course, the remote connection is in between that. Here's a flyover of the JBL BP 150.1. And yeah, it's kind of unique here, the way it's got these little dimples here on the outside of the amp, and 2 of them are for the power LEDs. All right, I'll power on the amp. You'll see an LED here, and you'll see the light under the bottom as well. So it starts off red, and then it goes to green, and this stays orange here. Kind of lights up around the logo. Okay, enough of that plastic tearing. Let's put this on the amp dyno, find out what we get at 4 ohms. It's rated 75 watts at 14.4, so not big power. Let's try it out anyway. Certified 1% distortion. There you go, 114 watts, 14.4. So this amp easily does its rated power plus more. Let's try uncertified, which takes us up to the clipping point of the amplifier. Again, we're using the 40 hertz track and busting 120. Yep, 121, 14.36. Finally, for the 4 ohm test, we'll reset the dyno here for the dynamic track, which sends a 40 hertz pulse tone into the amp to check out the dynamic capability of the power supply to deliver power to the outputs. 123 watts, 14.38 volts. Next up, we'll reset the dyno here for 2 ohms, where the amp is rated 150 watts at 14.4 volts. Again, all tests are at 40 hertz. Certified test is first up to 1% distortion. And then once again, easily we get that 150, we get 175, 14.32. Now let's reset the dyno for the dynamic track. We're gonna make sure we watch the current pretty careful here not to go too far over 20 so we don't pop that fuse. 188 at 14.28. And finally here for the 2 ohm run, let's reset it for the dynamic test. Again, we're right at 200, a little bit over 200. 203, we can get any more? 203 at 14.38. Now we're going to do the 1 ohm run, and typically with speakers you'll be fine run this amp at 1 ohm, but the dyno is a resistive load, so it's a little bit harder on the amp. Let's try it and see what we get. And 174, and then the amp kind of shut off and then turned back on. I'm going to show you more about that here just shortly. Let's go ahead and reset it and try the dynamic test though. We're going to skip over the uncertified test since it went into protect. Dynamically, you can see here, get some pretty good numbers into the low 300s, but what you can't see right now, which I'm going to show you, is what's happened with the amplifier. When it's sending that pulse tone into the amp, it's actually cycling the amplifier into protect and then back out of protect and into protect and back out of protect. So it doesn't really work here on the dyno with the 1 ohm dynamic run, but I like the way the amp comes back out of protect without having to do anything else. Here are all the results, also adding efficiencies at 4 ohm and 2 ohm, 68 and 61%. It did its rated power plus more in all different tests. Now let's take off the 8 screws on the bottom of the amp here and take a closer look at the internals. I'm going to use our magnetic screwdriver here to pull the bottom plate off, and there you go. Baby, Class D 150 watt amp from JBL for $19.99. You can see here capacitors, you can see resistors, you can see 25 volt 2200 microfarad, 105 degrees Celsius for the input filtering, and for the rails we have 2200 microfarad caps also, but these are 50 volt. And again, we'll do a flyover here. You can see the choke there, you can see the transformer, you can see the little wires jumping in. Also the RF 540, these are for the outputs. These are MOSFETs, TO220 encased. And then we also have the RF Z44s, which are MOSFETs for the power supply. I know a lot of you technicians like to see the parts inside these amps, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. There's the flyover once again of the internals. The 150 watt amp from $19.99 from JBL. Brand new in the box, did its power plus some, even though it's not very powerful. Chung Wan agrees this amplifier is pretty cool. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video of this JBL from 25 years ago. We had fun testing it. Thanks again to Brad at Legends of Car Audio. This is Big D. I'm out of here. I forgot to show the thermals in the main part of the video, so here you go for extras if you guys want to see. Around 116 degrees Fahrenheit is 120 there were some of the hottest parts of the amp. So thanks again for watching. See you on the next one.